Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Monster Strike, let's look at Ragnarok, and then we'll look at Setsuna in there, and then we'll also talk about Mu Alpha and Solomon. And then these are all Pierce characters with the Minesweeper, so you might think that they're bad choices in here, because they don't have the null gravity barrier, and then a lot of the enemies are anti-Pierce guys, so they'll stop. But you can use their bump combos to help you get through the quest. I think Solomon is kind of outdated now with the release of Setsuna and especially Mu Alpha. But if you wanted to use her in here, you would have to use two of her, and then you would have to give both of them at least the sidekick S plus Ableberries. And then, if you hit both of them, they will shoot out, their weak point homing shots, and then take down all of the little guys. That sounds like a very high hurdle, and then like every turn you have to hit both of them. And yeah, that sounds very unreliable, so I won't recommend Solomon. But Mu, he is water, and also he has the Poison Slayer. So if you bring a character with a poison bump combo like Empire, he's another character with the bounce, null gravity barrier, Minesweeper, I think. Then you can use them together and then get good damage against these little guys and then really help you in this quest. But the one option that I have is Setsuna here. And then he has the Holden. As the Holden goes, it will get stronger and stronger. If you have a sidekick Ableberry on Setsuna, then by the third enemy that he hits, it will do enough damage just to take down that guy completely. But if you have the Spirit Crest on him, and then you have that middle Slayer, the Fire Slayer, you can give Setsuna the sidekick S++, and then from the first hit, he will start taking down the guys in one hit with his bump combo. If you have the highest level Spirit Crest, then you just need a S rank sidekick Ableberry. But yeah, as we can see, the Holden will travel out and then it will hit the little guys, and then you can take down an entire group if your positioning is right. And then that's kind of the biggest advantage that Mu Alpha has over Setsuna. Mu Alpha, you don't need to worry about his positioning, because he'll just hit all of the weak points from anywhere. But with Setsuna, you do have to worry about his positioning. But yeah, there we hit the Fenrirs from the top, where there are not the weak points available to be hit with direct attacks. But with Setsuna's Holden, we are able to take everybody down. And then here too, let's hit Setsuna. Okay, and I think that traveled faster than Sarasvarti's attacks, so yeah, we did see them take them all down there as well. So yeah, this can be a good help if you have the setup and if your positioning is right. But it's not like the quest is suddenly super easy because you are using a buffed up Setsuna. Even if you take down the little guys, you still have to go after the boss. And that can be difficult enough that you will still die. So yeah, you still have to play the quest sort of in the standard way. But, taking down the little guys can be made easier. So then, like, the number of places that you can die in Ragnarok is kind of reduced, just because you can get through those little guy revival loops much more easily. And then, as we go after the boss, it'll set us up good positioning for the next stage. So here, if everybody's near the bottom, we can, get rid of this Fenrir loop pretty easily. But with the Setsuna bump combo, especially on this stage, all of the enemies are kind of like in a circle around the screen. So if we hit one, the Holden will travel all the way around, take down the Fenrir loop, And then also the Suruto loop, which is very, very lucky here. So yeah, we take down everybody, and now the boss is just by itself, and then with our bounce characters, we can just, you know, get on the left side there, between the boss and the wall, and then do the damage there. And then once we get to this point, you know, Setsuna doesn't have a lot to do. You can use him to pick up mines. That's useful for Romeo, who has the flight instead of the minesweeper. Or we can just get him into position for the next stage, or do a little bit of damage in the boss's weak point. But yeah, Ragnarok for a long time has been kind of like an unclimbable mountain. But I think using Setsuna here, maybe the max luck is on the far horizon. The worst case scenario is if Setsuna is like behind the Fenrirs, where the bounce characters can't get at him. But here we do have access. Let's hit him with a Nirai Kanai. And sure enough, there go all the little guys. The Holden seems to work much better against the Fenrir X's than the Jormungandrs. For some reason, the Jormungandrs don't get taken down on some stages for some reason, but... Alright, with Setsuna there, we'll pick up the mines. And yeah, I think I've already given up on the Holden, taking down the Jormungandrs, so we'll take them down the standard way. On this stage, the weak points, they're facing the same direction, so if we actually start out on the far right, just lined up perfectly with the weak point, we can just do a left and right. We'll get many hits on the right Jormungandr, he'll eventually go down, and then we should have enough speed left to take down the left one. And a lot of times when I play this quest, I like to miss the gauge with Nirai Kanai, because then he can be slowed down by catching the gravity barrier. And yeah, positioning is really important in this stage, even if you're not using Setsuna. Okay. Alright, so we are entering the boss sequence. We want as many of our guys to be on the bottom of the screen as possible, because that will help us get rid of the Jormungandr loop. Although Sars Varti is in pretty good position, so let's see if we can kind of get around. Okay, perfect. No irregular bounds there, so we could take down the loop. And then for Setsuna, you want to give him the Fire Slayer, of course, but you also want to give him the bump combo lock. I finally unlocked that pretty recently, so I was happy about that. Okay, we see the Holden working again there, that's very nice. And then on this stage 2, we want everybody to end up below Ragnarok. There is the weak point on the left there, but as much as possible, we want to keep just hitting the bottom of the boss. Of course, if the boss's ultimate attack is coming out soon, then we should go after the weak point, but yeah, if we do have a choice, we want to stay below her. Oh, that guide looks very tempting. Yeah, let's pick that up. We have a few turns until the boss's ultimate attack, so I can afford to lose a turn there. Okay, we don't want Setsuna to end up at the top of the screen, so we'll just kind of kill that turn too. And then finally we'll take down the boss. Okay, so here we have one of the more difficult Fenrir loops, but if we hit Setsuna, that will take care of it for us. Very nice. Yeah, for the Surutos and then the Fenrir X's, the Holden seems to work pretty much every time. For the Jormungandrs, not so much. Okay, there's the hold end doing the job there. And then here we want everybody to kind of end up at the top half of the screen. It's not necessary for everybody to be in the upper right. It could be the upper left as well. Okay. Oh, and then Nidai-Kanai, he recently got a monster buff. A lot of drop monsters did, especially like the Impossibles and higher. And then he picked up the guide, luck skill, so very useful in here. Okay, so last stage coming up. Setsuna's not in good position here to be hit by a teammate, so let's try to move him somewhere better. That's marginally better. And I think here everybody's close enough that the hold-in can reach everybody. Alright, so we got rid of the Fenrir loop. Guys will change position, and then we have the Jormungandr loop. So let's try to get rid of the Jormungandr loop. We missed with the direct attacks, but the hold-in was able to take down the Jormungandrs, so that's great. That really speeds up our run here. So we want to take down the Ragnarok in the upper left. With Setsuna we can pick up the mines. Alright, lined up with the weak point. Let's see if we can take down the mini-boss here. Okay, great. Okay, counterattack brings the blocks down. That is good. And then we'll get in between the wall and the boss. And then just for fun, we can use Sarasvati's strike shot. Creates a healing wall. I think it also gives a speed and power up. And then with Nidai-Kanai, we can use his strike shot, and that is the quest. But yeah, as we saw there on the last stage, after we took down all of the Jormungandrs and then the Fenrirs, Setsuna didn't really have anything to do, so yeah, you still have to play the quest kind of in the standard way with your bounce characters. But yeah, that's basically the team that I'm going to be using going forward, and then hopefully someday I can make the max luck of Ragnarok. I wasn't able to try with Mu Alpha because nobody in my friends list put one up, but you can kind of like use this video and then use it as a guide for using Mu Alpha, which should be even easier to do since you don't have to work on the positioning. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.